my name is Madison, and for my senior project I organized the construction of an adventure playground, which we are here at today. And this playground was entirely built by kids. I gave them wood, I gave them hammers, and the adults stood aside while the kids just did whatever they wanted. And so I will tell you, to my knowledge, what the different things are, but every day that we had a build day, it changed a little bit, and so things were taken apart. So not everything's here today, in other words, but I know what some of the things are, but some of the things you'll never know. So over there we have some miscellaneous things. I think one of them was supposed to be a bridge. I think this is supposed to be one of many sledgehammers that were built. Right here I had a nature loom built, and so kids could weave in flowers and natural things they found in the area if they didn't quite want to pick up a hammer and build something. This was used as a frame for a cardboard fort that someone built, and then later for a cardboard tent. And then over here is one of the wood piles that we had around where kids could just grab any piece of wood that they wanted. And then this was a bridge that was built, I think, by 3rd or 2nd grade and was added on by 1st grade, a couple different ones. This was the best sledgehammer we got, so it actually moves, and it was pretty hefty. This right here is a little dog. You can see the little head. That was built by 4th grade. And then a lot of kids just enjoyed nailing onto this platform. It was used as a fort at some point. It was used for a couple of different things. So we had another bridge going this way. And then over here, we had some swords. As the executive director at Playground NYC told me, that swords would happen and to not worry, they will be okay. So we have our little sword collection, in part a wall from a fort. And this sign used to say, "Playground made by kids," and it was built by a 2nd grader who wasn't sure that she could build anything but wanted to make me a sign. So this was, I believe, a ladder, and it was built by 1st grade, and the 1st graders loved wildflowers, and so they wove a bunch of wildflowers into it, and they would sit down there. They had a lot of fun with that. We had a couple swings built. Over the course of the project, I think we had around 6 or 7 built. And then this is a pull rope, so you stand on a chair and then you swing off. And if you come over here, we have some monkey bars that were never quite functional, but they're there. Then behind, right here, we have a tree that was built to be a tree by a girl with a broken arm. So it was pretty impressive seeing her move the rocks. This was a little pyramid fort that actually lasted for quite a bit of the project, but it's not quite lasting as well. And right here on this cross beam, you see this little board with nails. The girl told me it was to hold her hat. So she had it all thought out. And this swing, since it was too short to be a normal swing, you hang your safety eyeglasses on it when you're not using them. And then that was a stool that got added onto and less functional, but that's okay. And then this is one of a couple of teepees that came up during the project. And at some point there was a little slat that you could use as a door, and it bent back and forth. And this right here is our giant cube. And so I actually built this with the help of some high schoolers to have something on the site that kids could build off of and just give a sense of place to start out with. And so there was a couple of wood slat roofs that were built over the course of the project. They would put walls on this out of cardboard. They wrapped it in yarn. They put their safety glasses in the box, and it was just kind of like home base for the playground. And over here we have this chair that was used for a couple different purposes. And right here we have one of a couple different seesaws that were built during this project by different grade levels. Mostly girls like seesaws, which was kind of interesting. And here we have the Texas flag made by kindergartners. It used to have a post, but 4th grade recycled it. This is one of our ladders, I think. This was our favorite ladder that was built by 2 5th grade girls, and so it's moved around the playground a bit, but they actually used this ladder to get up into the tree to build a swing, and so it's pretty functional. It's a little scary, but it worked really well for all age groups. We have this ladder, which was actually on the ground because, as you can see, it moves around, and it's supposed to be an obstacle course versus a climbing ladder. Here is the last swing that was built by 4th grade, and so they were very creative. in that instead of using rope or straps, because I didn't have any left by their build day, which was the last one, they used a zip tie chain with straps. And so this swing was actually pretty cool to see built, because one group of 4th graders built it, and then the next group of 4th graders came in and they fixed it up and made it better. So they're all working together. This is the remnants of one of the seesaws. Then we have 2 balance beams on the ground over here. I have a video of some kids playing on. And then here's a ladder that was built by a 1st grader, and it actually worked, and she scared me to death because the point of it was that you climb up on this tip, and then she could reach the tree, and then she would jump off. And so like the first time she tried it out, I like assisted her fall, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that was just terrible. And then I turned around and she was back up climbing, and I was like, oh no. And I was like, it's okay, she'll be fine. So I let her jump off and she was fine. She had the best time. And anyways, this is the remnants of one of the ladders. And this was a bench that was built by 5th grade boys, and it used to have a back on it that was reused, but everyone loved putting their water bottles on it. And oh, I have one more thing I want to show you. This used to be a ticket booth to get onto the seesaw. So this was a little stool, and it was behind a cardboard trifold. And then over here, I'll go get it. In case you weren't sure, if you twist this nail right here, this is a door to an alternate dimension, apparently, in case you didn't know. So yeah, that's my playground. Built by 227 kids, K through 5, over the course of 2 weeks in about 9 hours.